Hello all and welcome back to the plot. It's the 24th of June and it looks as though the weather's turning a bit now. We've got a few warm days in the last couple of days, but we're still having a bit of overcast. But anyway, I'm looking around the plot and the beetroot is starting to get a bit big, bulking, some of them so I've decided to dig a few up and we'll start getting them pickled. And then I think I'm going to dig up the garlic as well. So let's go on. Away we have the beetroot. I'm not sure when this was planted, but I'll have to have a look in the planting book. I'll put it on the bottom of the screen. This variety is Baltardo, and there it is. So that's the crop there. I've just took the tops off and put them in the basket. The smaller ones are where they've been attached to a larger beetroot, but I have left some in the ground because there's still a few not quite big enough yet, I don't think, for cropping. So we'll leave those for a few more weeks and we'll go back to those. These are the leaves off the beetroot, which are going to end up in the compost bin. But what I tend to do with nearly all the stuff that goes in the compost bin now is chop it up with some shears into finer pieces, because I find it does help the rotting process go a lot quicker. There's already some paper shredding on there, cardboard and other green stuff below. This does rot down fairly quick. Spread it over evenly and let the worms do the job. Moving on to the garlic now. Although it had started to die back, rust seems to have took over in the last few days and it's more or less all covered now, so I think it's about time we fetch this up as well. And that's a bit of a puny effort, as I thought. I'm a bit disappointed with that. Well, there we have the crop of the garlic, and I must admit to being somewhat disappointed after seeing the videos that Mark and has just put out, and Nora as well. I think these are a pretty poor crop. As you can see, you look on the leaves, rust is all over the place, so that's the main reason I fetched them up, although I said there was dying up. So all in all, disappointment on that one. But disappointment, look here, I've just pulled a elephant garlic up and that ain't a bad size, I don't think. Well, good morning. Saturday the 27th of June, and if the bods at the Weather Centre got it right, I think we'll be in for a good day today, so do a bit of work on the plot. Just having a look around the bean poles and starting to hit the tops now. I'll just turn you around. Some of the beans I'm reaching the top of the canes now, so what I plan on doing, I'm nipping them out as they get to the top. But walking back down the frame now, if you look at the top, this is all this planks and that are blocking the rubbish out, the light out, sorry. So what I tend to do now is take the tops off to get as much light into here and get the beans up the poles. difference that's made to the light is amazing. Now all I've got to do now is clean the mess up. Looking in the greenhouse, I've decided now, I think I'm going to take the tumbling tom basket outside. The greenhouse is 6 foot wide and the flowers are more or less touching each side. So it's blocking a lot of light out for the other plants, the cucumbers and that. There's absolutely hundreds and hundreds of flowers on here. So I'm hoping for a really good crop. So I think I'm going to end up putting the hanging tumbler tomato plant around the back, in the back garden, and put that on the auto watering system, because it is a bit of a nightmare now trying to keep that hydrated. Well, good morning. It's the 1st of July and white rabbits and all that here. Yesterday was absolutely baking hot. It reached over 50 degrees in the greenhouse, which is, I think it worked out about 122 in the old money. And it was, I was watering all the time. It's 8:30 and there's a few people away and working funny hours and that, so I'm just going to put a drop of water on their plots before the sun comes up. And today it's actually forecast to be hotter here than in Miami and whatever, so I've got a little treat for you later. You're going to see me with a pair of Speedos, okay? Sit tight. Now I'm a man of my word, and I did say that I'd show you me with my pair of Speedos. With this hot weather, it does make you work a lot faster, it does. So I'm going to show you now. I'll step back slowly so it don't quite as much of a shock. Okay, hold on to your seats. You've been warned. Well, you got some right minds, you have. I said my Speedos. Here they are. The trusty Speedo. Sorry, I misled you. I've been looking for a decent hoe for a while, and a couple of the guys on the plot had got these things called Speedos. And I tried one and I liked it, so I set about looking on the net to buy one. The normal price is around £30 plus. Anyway, looking on eBay, I found this guy that was selling them £20 including delivery. So I placed the order, email back, going to be delivered. It was I did it on the Thursday or Friday, and the delivery was due the following week on the Thursday or Friday. However, on the Monday, it surprisingly got delivered, but we wasn't in. There was a card pushed through the door saying, "Sorry I missed you, put your parcel over the gate." Well, our gate's 6 foot high, and there's a concrete path behind, and it was Hermes who delivered it. So I goes and gets the hoe, unpacks it into my horror. The tip of the hoe, I don't know if you can see it on here, is all bent and that. So gets back onto the guy on eBay, told him, and he says, send me some photographs, I'll put a claim in to Hermes. And he says, whatever you do, don't send it back, the postage will be too much. So I didn't, and lo and behold, a week later he sent me another one, a brand new one, and I've still got the other one. But unfortunately, folks, it's already accounted for, sorry. But these speedos are a fantastic tool, sharp all the way around the edge, and it goes through weeds like lightning. It's got a nice flat plate to run on the soil, and as you draw it back, it slightly digs down and cuts any weeds out. And weeding a bed is quite fast now, it is. So I can highly recommend it, speed hoe. And the only downside for some of you, it's made by a company called Hacknicks, who is also the company what make those dreaded root trainers. Give it a try, it's well worth it. I just want to show you this purse specimen here. This is a plant, well, it's one of a pair I've got for, I've had a few good number of years now, and it's a box which I've pruned and trained into a pyramid, and it looks as though it's succumbed to the dreaded box blight, which unfortunately there's nothing you can do with it at all. The leaves just seem to dry out, and the soil's already dry. The soil's still damp, I've checked that, it's never dried out. But it's one of them things that happens, and it looks as though I'm going to have to say goodbye to that one. So it is one of a pair. The other one is here, and you can just see bits of white happening, light coloured foliage happening there. So I tend to prune my box plants around about middle of June-ish, and I say I'm not sure if that's got it as well. I've got another box boar. That one looks as though not too good, but me little squirrel and the rabbit, they seem okay. So it's a shame about that. I say it's a really nice plant, and I reckon it's over 10 years old, but that's the way things go. The foliage on the first early potatoes is dying down now, so I think I'm going to dig those up more or less in the next few days, because I don't want the tubers to get excessively big, so then we're going to come out. The sour palmyras there romping away, and what I've ended up doing is putting rope around to try and contain them and stop the plants from flopping over. But they seem to be healthy now, quite well. Got a few sunflowers starting to come into flower now, and the sourpows seem to be giving them quite a bit of support, so it saves me having to stake them for the time being. Looking down into the broad beans, we've now got quite a few down there, so I think I'm going to start cropping off these from now. Well, that's the first picking of this season's broad beans, and surprisingly there's still quite a few more to pick off, but I need to put a bit more size on yet, so I'll just leave them for another week or so and get those off. It's been a long, tiring day, so now it's time for some well-deserved rest. So see you in the next episode. Bye.